Today, we're looking at two particle systems, one for the grass and one for the stars in the sky. Okay, a very rudimentary storyboard. It's basically my truck on a hill with a note to have some grass on the front. Also, I seem to have a note about some area lights that are too hot. After I started working on this scene, I would go back and add notes to my storyboards for the scene as opposed to having just a list. I don't know why. I also have a note to bring the area lights down because it looked too bright on the truck. Pretty simple scene that was a little bit complicated to set up. Let's take a look. So this is the shot. The one thing you'll notice is I added a fence to kind of break up the field in the foreground. And the sky is a particle system, but not in the way you might think. But let's take a look at the shot. Just a quick establishing shot with a little bit of a camera move. And let's jump into the Blender file. All right, as you can see, I am missing a bunch of textures. The grass, the fence, the truck, everything's missing textures in this shot. For the grass, I probably could have gotten away with just making it green. I don't think the textures showed up so much in that wide shot. But I do want to point out right here, this is my one grass section that I made. And then I just did a particle system using this to put on my plane that I made for the grass. As we look at this, I just built the section of the hill that I needed to see through the camera. So basically, if it was out of frame here, I deleted it. I probably could have deleted some stuff in here, but it was just easier to leave it. Again, I added this fence to break it up in the background. I think I made this fence like once. Let's get in there. I made this. So I made this part of the fence. Come on, get on there. I made this part of the fence, and then I just duplicated it a bunch. I did it in a way where I could break up the fence and make it look like part of it was broken, just to add a little more interest to the shot. Now, if we go back and look at our night sky, you might think, oh, you just did a particle system. Well, I found a different tutorial. I did a particle system for the Star Wars short, if you have watched any of that for the night sky. But I found a different tutorial that showed you how to make a particle system. Here we go, looking down here, onto an object. So I basically did a particle system inside on this dome. So it's as if this entire shot is created inside a dome as opposed to just making a vast particle system that fills up the entire night sky. I don't know if it was better or not, but the one thing this did afford me to be able to do was sort of make this sort of nebula type thing in this tutorial, which is why I chose to do it this way. So that is how I created my night sky. The truck, I made an empty to move and control my truck. Once again, it does not move. So if you remember, I did not bother to rig it. But I did add some headlights and a little glow for the headlights to give it some visual interest there. And we will see headlights in a future scene with this truck. So that is it for this. You notice the truck is sort of buried in the grass there. I made the grass super tall. From the camera angle, you can't really tell. In the next shot, this won't match. The grass is not as tall, but hopefully my shallow depth of field on the next shot will help. But also, I don't think anybody can tell how much this is actually buried in the grass. So that is it for this shot. Just framed everything up and then placed it in the shot where I needed it. Tomorrow, we'll look at a shallow depth of field to isolate your characters' faces. I'll see you then.